And the coach for the panel.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back down in the chat,
No. Yeah. No,
you good, right?
You're good, right? So, Coach Hackett, first of all, thank you very much for gracing us with your time. The Robert Merriweather interview, as you saw, there was a flow to it. You're used to it because of Jaleel and yourself, but we're in the panel portion. Again, you joined us yesterday while you were at the airport. Glad you made it safely. Congratulations on an amazing win. Jaleel was awesome at the post-fight conference. Before we even get started with our whole panel discussion, how you feeling on a Wednesday coming home from a win?
I feel good. Great experience. Loved everything about it. I think we had a great time. Want to give a shout out to our opponent. You know, you can't look good if you don't have anybody who wants to look good as well. So I want to thank Roberto Cruz. But yeah, we had a great experience, great time, but can't wait to go back.
No doubt. How's Jaleel doing? What's he doing?
Doing great. Getting a little relaxation. Hey,
any new tattoos? You know, anything new?
Hey, give it a week. It'll probably be something.
It'll be something, right? Did you guys come home together? Did he come home first? Did he come after you, or?
No, we came home together.
Okay. So he come home, he's relaxing, man. He's enjoying it. The experience as far as with the production, because that was your first time running through it with them, right? Like, all right, let's see. Did you guys anticipate anything? Did it meet your expectations? Did it exceed your expectations? What do you think about it?
I think it exceeded my expectations. I think they were. I say this: the more I learned about them as a company, not Zuffa as boxing, but TKO, the more I realized, wow, they ran so smooth like that. The more I realized, it's if I tell anybody what I thought, I've said since I've seen it, it was like TKO formed a company, and then they said, we are gonna go get the cream of the crop from Showtime, HBO, WWE, UFC. We're going to put together a dream team. And the dream team is in every aspect of running this business. If Showtime had the greatest guys that did camera work, we want those guys that do camera work. If the panel was made up of any better group, I couldn't think of one. To me, this group actually had fighters who gave commentary based on actually being fighters. Max Kellerman's great. I think he gives excellent commentary. But to have Andre Ward and his level of intellect when he spoke to the boxing side. I think Max Kellerman did a great job of giving play-by-play color commentary, because that's what he does. He does an excellent job with that. And when he brought up different pieces, I'm glad Andre was there to be able to kind of balance the pieces out.
Put the perspective on it, right? Like, and I agree with you, by the way, not to cut you off, but I noticed that was the first thing I noticed was the fighter, the quality of, I want to say experience that was there, that they built up there. And I think that makes a big difference in having that quality calling your son's fights, right? Having somebody who can really put in perspective what you're looking at. Like, no, you need to see that this guy, like Andre, is going to give you your best chance at people seeing all the intangibles that Jaleel is bringing to the table and what he's doing in the ring. Does that make sense?
No, that made perfect sense. One time I think Max was saying, hey, I love the way they're doing it, but he won't be able to, treat it like a joystick all the time. And Andre was like, I think they're working perfectly together anytime that he's calling something and his son was throwing those punches in a split second. It wasn't a joystick. They're sharing the same mind. So that was what I think was the balance piece with Andre giving out his. People don't understand that, when you get in sync with your fighter, or just life puts you in sync with your kid, you almost know what they're going to do before they do it, or what we worked on in life this should be the next thing that happens. And I think that's what Andre was understanding, was he's not joysticking him. They're working together. You know, and for me, it's one of my hidden joys. I'm one of those guys that I don't mind saying what I'm gonna say, and you take it the way you want to take it, but I'm not apologetic for what I say. I meant what I said at the time I said it. So when I coach, I noticed that a lot of coaches, it's so funny. The biggest coaches be in front of the biggest crowds, but they can only coach when they know that the crowd, or when their mind tells them the crowd is not on them, because if they think it's on them, then they can't speak well. So for me, when I'm coaching with my son and we're doing that, this is even from the amateur days. I feel it makes. I'm not coaching my son in the sense of coaching him. I'm actually keeping the other coach from coaching his fighter, because most of them don't want to say something that somebody perceives stupid, and when they say it, their fighter gets knocked out. So they'll rather be quiet. Where me, I'm gonna say it. And so I've systematically eliminated your coach from comfortably coaching you while the fight is going.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, man. You guys, it looked like Julia was happy, man. He looked like a pig in slop, right? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked like he was in his element. Yeah, he looked like he was in his element. He looked like he wanted more. Like, he just looked like he enjoyed every minute of it. And he looked, like I said to you yesterday, he looked healthy, man. He looked good, man. You know what I'm saying? We've always taken notice to the way he looked at 147. He was going through. I'll never forget that press conference with Pete Dobson. I was like, man, bro. It just looked like he was struggling, and it was refreshing to see him, you know what I mean, where he was at on the Zuffa at that 160. Seems like he's right at home. You know what I mean?
Hey, Mr.
If you
Hackett,
make a commitment to something, then you have to see it through.
Yes,
so
sir.
My son made commitments at 47. He had things that he wanted to achieve at 47. And as long as he was willing to see him through, I was going to support him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Hackett. So, most people don't even realize that there was the 157 cap on Jaleel, but now on his next fight, he's going to actually get to really fill out at 160, right? It won't even be this weird little, I have to cap myself down to 157. So not, we never want to get anyone in trouble, say what you want to say, but he didn't look like he got hurt on that fight. I mean, blood is just normal. You get blood in sparring. You and I both know that, having been in the gym and coaching fighters. So since he's not hurt, and I know he probably already did the CAT scan, or a CAT scan is coming, how soon are we looking to get back in there? Can I ask that?
To me, in a perfect world, I can speak on the perfect world because they haven't told us anything yet. But in a perfect world, I would like to see Jaleel back in the ring in April, early April.
Yeah, well, we heard about Robert Merriweather's going to be coming on an April show, so early April. Okay.
I would love to be back on the show in April, just because Zuffa is giving you so many opportunities. And for the young guys that sign with Zuffa now, they can almost, it's crazy. And I'm saying it's crazy. Zuffa it's crazy, but you can damn near create your schedule. You can create your schedule. So in a perfect world, if we can go in January, April, maybe August, September, and then, hey, especially if we can finish out the year with something. But if we could go January, April, September, and then January again, that gives us a guaranteed 3. And if something comes in between there, we're willing to take it. But they saying, man, you want to fight? We got you on a schedule, but if you want to go before then and we got the spot open, then people trying to put fights on. They're not trying to put Twitter wars on. They're trying to put fights on.
Don't talk about it.
Hey, yes, sir.
Dana talked about it in the press conference. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much put everybody on notice. Like, we're going to be adding a lot more fights to this. I know we told you guys it was going to be 12 minimum, but he was like, it seems like it's going to be a lot more fights. And he seemed to be very optimistic about the ability to do that. And obviously, like he said, because he said it, the fighters want to fight, man. The fighters really want to fight, man. And when you got that type of situation, it makes it so much easier to flow and just put cards together and just roll out events.
You got so many fighters playing catch up, career catch up.
Right.
The old system of things had the majority of fighters not fighting. They had the top fighters not wanting to take fights. And then you had the middle class of fighters that were holding down the ship, trying to stay steady. You know, I give shout out to Sebastian Fundora. I think 2 years ago we seen him fight, and for Sebastian was like 6 times in a year.
Right.
But you couldn't get not one of the top guys to take a fight against another top guy. And that just hurt fights, man. So I think a lot of fighters signing with Zuffa, they playing career catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we were speaking about that even earlier on the show before Robert Merriweather came on, where Caleb Plant was there to watch your son win. Regis Prograis was there. Yeah.
Shout out to Caleb. That's my guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of fighters. I mean, again, we don't want to say anything. All we can really do is speculate, but a lot of fighters are moving over to Zuffa. The schedule is looking like, for now, it's looking like it's the trajectory of every 2 weeks. There's a fight. We got another one coming up here in Vegas on my birthday, Mr. Hackett. So I don't know if you're coming up for my birthday weekend, but let me know if you're coming up here to watch F.A. Jogba versus Charles Martin, because you know we needed to try that. You know what's funny, Mr. Hackett? And I'll show you the picture. So I know that you told me the schedule and you guys were heading to Zuffa. I knew you were locked in on that Friday, right? You got to make the wait. But I'd actually brought the empanadas for you when I texted you that I was at the cafeteria, but I knew you might have already gone to Zuffa. So what you missed out on is the best Filipino empanadas you could have had, Mr. Hackett. You could have had it. Eating it in front of Jaleel while he's trying to make weight.
Hey, man, you might have made Jaleel bite me, man.
You've been out there like, go ahead, man. Keep running, man. What you doing? Man.
You looking great, man. You looking great.
You keep staring at me, bro. That ain't gonna help you. Ain't gonna help you stay on weight. You need to be focused on what you're doing. I'm focused on what I'm doing. But, so look, Mr. Hackett. I mean, listen, man. Great fight to Jaleel. Great card, by the way. The card hit off, man. It was a great card, man. Right?
I think I got gypped. I think I got gypped on that card. I got gypped.
You did? On the bonus?
It was too much quality on there with too much good fight. I need to be on a card where the level might be a little different. Because it was too before we even fought, and I looked at some of the fights that happened and look what was coming up. Right. I said, Jaleel, let's just get our check tonight.
Yeah, let's just get out of here. Let's get out of here. I know when Bosniak got stopped, you were like, we're done. Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Hey, after Jaleel's fight, and he was watching a little bit of the next fight with Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Jaleel said, let's go on back to the hotel. He said, let's go back to the hotel.
And then Rio, and then Rio and
Rio like that too.
Man, we was at the hotel watching the war, and I said, I'm glad he said let's go back, because ain't no way in the world that we was getting a dime the way them two went at it. The way them two was firing punches,
crazy.
I wasn't getting a dime.
Crazy. It was a shootout, man. It was a literal shootout in that main event. But that being said, we had a great weekend of boxing, right? The weekend was lit. I know you guys were dialed into what you were doing, but I think I asked you yesterday and you said you did get an opportunity to see. Did you get an opportunity to see those fights? Or
like
I watched that card. Okay. I watched the Xander fight. I didn't watch the card. I watched the fight.
Right.
I was very interested in that, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Jaleel Hackett and Xander Zayas at 160, belt or no belt, that's going to be fireworks. I think the emergence of Zuffa is going to make all of the dream fights for the young guys really happen. So I really was interested in that fight. Shout out to Xander. He's now the unified champion. And to me, he takes the number one spot at 154 as the best fighter. He has 2 of the belts. And so I had to give him that spot. Hope he can get that third belt, which they're talking about he's going to try and get by the end of the summer. I guess Bob's really showing that, hey, I give my guys a chance to be great. I think the only stumbling block or roadblock into him becoming undisputed is Sebastian Fundora. And Fundora is he's a big problem for anybody he fights. So, I hope he cleans up that division. I hope, God willing, we get to do what we got to do, and Xander come up to 160, and we can get it on. And if he doesn't feel like fighting us at 160 because he isn't completely fair to it, I don't mind fighting him at fit. I was 57, 58 for him. I think that's the young mega fight for these young guys. That's the young mega fight. Xander doesn't have any fear of fighting anybody. Jaleel doesn't have any fear of fighting anybody. And I think for them, they could kick the door in on the next young guys who are willing to take chances to be great.
Right. Shout out to Mill City in the building. Mill, what's good? Said, what's up, fellas? Congrats to Hackett on his Zuffa debut. I told you a month ago they had plans for Zan Desires. Yeah, Mill, man. Mill, that's my guy, man. So you saw the Xander fight, and obviously some personal interest in there because Xander, I agree with you, by the way, number one spot right now, 154. You just got to give it to him. Somebody's gonna have to take him off that throne. We not just gonna keep playing that game, man. That kid is just amazing. Youngest unified champion in the game right now. What do you think about the Shakurs? Did we speak? I don't know how much. I can't remember what we spoke about yesterday, but I'm gonna go back.
No. Mr. Hackett, we mainly spoke on yours, and congratulations to you a little bit because it was a very short time. So, but before we do the Xander, you also saw the Bakram and Kelly fight, right, Mr. Hackett?
Okay. Yep, sure did.
Yeah,
sure did.
And so that we our whole subject yesterday, as you were on the plane, was the 154 division is completely turned around now. I had a whole soliloquy on like me or not, but Xander's Eyes is the best 154 pounder, and everybody's got to go get him now. When you saw Kelly and Bakram, both Clay and I had predicted that if there was going to be an upset, it would definitely be the Kelly fight. Kelly gets the upset. Is Kelly boots? Is that what you want to see? Where are you at with Josh Kelly now, Mr. Hackett?
I'll say this: Josh Kelly's a great fighter. I have no issue of it at all. He's a great fighter. But in my opinion, the rules that were implemented for that fight, if people actually knew the rules that were implemented, Bakram lost on the scale. He lost to the scale. The reason I say that, the Wednesday of fight week, he had to weigh 158.
Okay.
The Friday, he had to weigh 54. And then Saturday morning, he couldn't weigh any more than 64. If you go back to Monday, when they faced off, when he had the hood on, he looked small. He looked small. And when a guy is used to saying the night before I have to weigh in, I'm going to take off 12, 15 pounds. To make him have to take it off earlier in the week, stay at 158, which was 4 pounds above the contracted weight, then weigh in at 54, then cannot completely rehydrate itself beyond 10 pounds. You kind of been making him under a water clause since Tuesday. So he had to basically make weight on Tuesday, then turn around and try to get a little nutrition to put back what he lost for the Wednesday weigh-in, then take it out again and make weight on Friday, and then maintain a balance and not be above 64, and then have a handful of hours to get himself feeling great again. So in my opinion, he lost the fight on the scale. If you look at him, look at previous fights, and then look at him when they got in the ring to start the fight, he looks smaller than he normally does.
It's interesting you say that. I'm glad you explained it to the listeners, Coach Hackett, because Jaleel on the post-fight conference said he'd never eaten as good as he's ever eaten before a weigh-in. I'm talking about him going to his weigh-ins because of how the UFC PI was providing food for him. Like, hey, we want you to eat before your going into your weigh-ins, which he's not starving, right? He's like, oh my gosh, I'm eating before weigh-ins.
Like literally, by the way, I think it was Robert Merriweather I feel like, and I should have asked him this, but a lot of the fighters, by the way, have been talking about that, just not being aware or having that access to the nutritionist who, there were fighters who like, I would never eat carbs. You know what I'm saying? But they said that the nutritionist over there, like, what are you talking about? You need carbs. And they found a way to implement the carbs in there, but still keep them healthy on weight. Is that what your little experience?
Yeah, same thing. The bag of food that they gave you per day, we thought in a boxing world, that was the food for the week.
Right. Right.
So for these guys to have that available that day and say, hold up, this is going to push me over. And you have professionals saying it's not even designed to push you over. Right. And they're eating that and so that it's going to take some getting used to for fighters because their body is trained to one thing, you know, and being able to do the things that they're able to do now with the assistance is going to be massive change. But to the average fighter, that's just something that's just not a doable thing.
Right. And the reason why I want to ask this question, Mr. Hackett, is do you now think that Bakram is no longer beholden to any of the 4 sanctioning bodies? Is he someone that we could see in Zuffa?
I think anybody is somebody you could see in Zuffa, including world champions. I don't take world champions off the block because it's so much going on in boxing that when you look at what Zuffa is doing and what you look at the normal state of boxing was just totally unfair. But now you have something to balance the unfair. I'll give an example. I use Merriweather. He got his bonus. He got everything. He made more money in an undercard fight than Diego Pacheco made on his last fight.
Ooh.
And that's not me saying it. If you remember, the California Commission put the numbers for that whole card out.
Right.
About a month ago, they put the whole numbers out. He made more money than Pacheco, and Pacheco was the main event.
Man, so when Pacheco fought Kevin Lele Sajo, which was an extremely hard 12-round fight,
he got
Robert Merriweather III just won more money for a 6-rounder on his 10th fight than someone who's already a world champion contender. Wow.
And I mean, it's interesting that you bring that up because we just watched Diego Pacheco walk out of a bid, right, to fight Hamza Siraj for a vacant WBC title. Well, WBO title.
Why you think he walked out? Somebody on his team already told him, do you know this kid Merriweather made more or just as much money as you in his fight? And they want us to do what?
Right.
That's why I literally was going to go with it. I was going to say, it's interesting you said that because he just walked out of that bid and everybody's wondering what. And, you know, it's so funny because on a surface level, not having that inside knowledge that you have, boxing fans are going to jump right into the first bag, right? Diego's scared of Hamza. He don't want to fight Hamza. He's scared of fighting him and not realizing that there's this underlying business that is just one-sided in this boxing space where these A sides and you know, collect and make this 1%, 2% of the game is making this money. And you got these B sides, quote unquote, if you want to call them, struggling to make the ends meet because it just doesn't make sense. It's lopsided.
Man, you know they got boxers out here feeling like TLC. You watch a TLC documentary, they said we made $10 million, but we only walked away with 50 grand each. Had boxers feeling like TLC out here. I mean, if you just look at what Zuffa has done in a short span where they are making other fighters rich. Just think, Bam got an offer from Matchroom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Bam got an offer.
Right.
Right after he got his offer, Zuffa made him a larger offer, and Eddie matched it.
Yeah.
If that was the case, why Eddie ain't just offering that off the break?
There you go. Hey,
so
speak to him, Mr. Hackett.
So Zuffa made Bam a richer man. Shout out to Bam and his team for getting that money. They might have ultimately signed back with Matchroom, But Matchroom had to come off of money that they had no plans on spending
Right.
to
Facts.
keep Bam.
Right.
Diego Pacheco, somebody with sense in his team said, Bam got more money. These kids got more money. You got less money, but they talking about you going to purse bid. This is my feeling on purse bid. When you see purse bids happen, it's for a title fight.
Mm.
You have two promotion companies most of the time dealing with it, the challenger and the champion. I'm not as mad at the challenger's company. That's not my issue. My issue is if I bust my ass for you and I win a world title and I signed a contract that you want to hold me beholden to, what is the job of a promoter? To promote my fight. And if you choose to let my fight go to purse bid because you don't think I'm worth the money that you would have to spend, then I think every world champion whose fight goes to purse bid but they have a promoter immediately comes a free agent if his promoter does not win the purse bid. Because you did not promote my fight. You let my fight go to purse bid, so I should also have the ability to be a free agent immediately because you still want your piece of the money even if another promoter wins the bid. I pay you to promote me. So if your job is to promote me and you didn't promote me, then you in essence breached the contract. There's no language in the contract that says purse bid. If I'm a champion, your job is to promote me, not let me go to purse bid. So if you don't win the purse bid, then in that case, I should be free to go wherever I want to go. That minute that the new purse bid was announced to the other promoter. When they
Hackett,
don't want to promote your fight, it's 90% of the time is because you're a fighter who has a mandatory purse from your promoter. They owe you 4 million, 5 million, and they don't think that your fight is worth that because they're going to lose money.
Right.
So they let it go to purse bid, and you get the percentage based on the purse bid, but they still get their percentage of what they're supposed to get from that. So if that's the case, I should be free to go.
Mr. Hackett, I'm so glad you're saying this because we started the show where me and Clay were playing like devil's advocates against each other, and I was playing the part of the casual fan of not understanding. I don't understand. Why would Devin Haney need the partner when he's the guy that should be hunted by everybody? And you're really putting into light this whole that way the sanctioning bodies work, right? And this purse bid idea. And most importantly, what you're saying, what's a promoter's job? To promote the fight. So if you're not promoting the fight, isn't that breach of contract? Right? Isn't that breach of contract, right?
The IBF, the WBA, the WBC, and the WBO are not beholden to any fighter. They're not. You hold their belt, then you hold their belt. If you lose the belt, you lose the belt. Your promoter is beholden to you just as you are beholden to the promoter. So if I'm responsible for upholding my part, why shouldn't you be responsible for upholding your part?
Right.
If you can promote my fight and I lose and I signed a 5-fight deal with you, but you could drop me after the first fight I lose, then why should I be able to drop you at the first time you send my fight to purse bid? I should have the same right to drop you. I should be able to go out there and I can see what the free agent market hold for a champion. Don't try and send me out there with no belt. Let me go test the market as a champion. And if you want to re-sign me, yesterday's prices, not today's prices.
Yeah, Mr. Hackett. No, and you're right, because the landscape, when the minute Zuffa entered, the landscape changed. And it completely changed, right? And now, again, not that we care what the fighters make, but what we care about is seeing the best fight the best. But hearing so many Zuffa managers, coaches like yourself, fighters telling us how they're being treated, almost as if they were in an NFL team, were like, why wouldn't you go? And me and Clay have had these private conversations where it's like, man, I mean, why wouldn't a world champion go? So it feels so good, Mr. Hackett, for you to validate that. Why would it be impossible for Virgil Ortiz, for example, to come to Zuffa?
And Zuffa ain't standing in the way of no big fight. That's the biggest misconception. Zuffa is saying if you're a Jaleel Hackett, we'll put you on Zuffa. You show us that you are the goods, and you can move your way up to a Zuffa title, which puts you in the top 10 of Ring Magazine, which could position you to fight anybody who's also in that top 10 in a potential Riyadh card. They didn't say that you weren't able to fight big fights. They just gave you a new path to get there. If you're a current world champion and you have a belt and you still want to fight the biggest fights for you, you might be on Zuffa for a regular fight. But if they got a big fight against a top guy, you be in Riyadh. That BS they talking about fighters making $20,000 for fighting championships or whatever. That's BS.
It's been BS.
Them contracts clearly state if you get an opportunity to fight on something big, whether it's Ring or Zuffa, they negotiate. Then those people we have to negotiate whatever the situation is. They're not keeping nobody from making money. They encouraging you to make money. They're encouraging you. Please come get some money. You want to fight? You willing to fight the top guys? This is going to clear out the metrosexuals of boxing. Those guys who do not want to fight nobody, but they got enough of a fan base to where the fan base can make promoters keep giving them layups and getting money. It's eliminating that. A Zuffa champion, I use Conor McGregor. If you look at his record, Conor McGregor's combat fighting record is 22-6. He's 10-4 in the UFC.
That's right.
Conor McGregor was one of the most financially prosperous guys in the UFC.
Right.
With 6 losses.
Right.
6 losses. So a Zuffa guy, he might lose fight. Jalil could win a Zuffa title, but in the road to winning a Zuffa title, he could lose 2 more fights. Right. Now he would be a 12-3 guy, but he lost to 2 guys who were highly qualified. Then he wins the title. And you get him an opportunity to fight. Just use an example, not down in my guy, a Xander Zayas, who let's say he doesn't fight anybody else but the right people. I'm going to back my guy that got more scratches on his armor because I know he's tested different.
Right.
He's tested different. I know none of these other promoters are investing into the fighter. You are an independent contractor who just happens to work with Top Rank or whoever it is, Matchroom. Whereas Zuffa, you're part of the family network, and we want to see you be at your best. That's why you can use the performance center that look like a damn college campus. The only thing I can tell people, the average person, if you ever saw Enter the Dragon, where they went to the island and Bruce Lee was fighting up, that's what the performance center reminds you of. Like they got like they got a building where they building cyborgs. Where they
That's what they're doing though, Coach. They're developing and that's what intrigues me so much about Zuffa from a fan's point of view, right? Like you guys have your points that it impresses you on, right? But you're a fighter. I'm not a fighter. You know what I mean? You're training a fighter. But from the outside looking in, trying to see American boxing be on top again, to see our fighters getting gold medals at the Olympics again, to being the standard for boxing again, it's going to take a company with a vision like what I see Dana's doing. We're going to invest in the fighters, nutrition, recovery, activity, development, competition. We're going to create. And I keep telling everybody in the next 3 to 5 years, and probably sooner, the pound for pound best fighter in the world will be a product of this system. because it's just going to be, like you said, cyborgs, superhumans, super athletes. It's going to be the best version of everything, and they're going to get better because of the matchmaking. They're just going to develop, and their records might not be undefeated, but they're going to be the baddest mother walking the planet. It will be that guy. When you get in the ring with that guy, he might be 20 professional fights, 3 losses. He's finna beat your ass.
I tell you like this: if you put Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns, you take those 4 fighters, and you match up your 4 undefeateds of today's era, and just using 4 guys I know are undefeated. I don't make no mistakes. Right. Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Shakur Stevenson,
Terrence Crawford.
Bud Crawford. If you compare those guys, if you ask them to compare each other, they're going to say we're all great. If you ask the casual, they're going to say, oh, the 4 that are undefeated.
Right.
They won't look at Sugar Ray Robinson knocked out 178 people. That part they don't see. He knocked out 178 people. That's more than probably 4 fighters combined had fights. He had more knockouts than fights. But they'll say, man, he had 19 losses. Did you hear me say he knocked out 178 people?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking at. Zuffa guys may be tested. Let me tell you the mental stress that comes off of you. The mental stress that comes off of you and your family, and I'm using my family as the example. There's no stress if you go out there and fight a hard fight and lose. You ain't worried about tomorrow morning you're waking up and your promoter, who didn't tell you, but they told the media, we dropped him. We dropped him. So you find out on social media your promoter dropped you.
Right.
After you went to camp, after you gave it your best, and after you bled, the only thing they could say is you're not worth anything to me anymore, and they dropped you.
It makes a difference.
And this is and Mr. Hackett, again, just so that we make it clear to the people listening to us, you've never said a bad thing about Eddie Hearn or Matchroom.
No, I won't.
Yeah, and you never will, right? But these are just facts of things. Like these are just
if somebody
facts.
sends a video to Eddie Hearns or anybody else and they say that I'm not giving a fact,
these are just facts.
These are just facts.
These are just facts, right?
And that peace of mind, because we just watched an event this weekend. We seen mental health on the big stage, right?
Yeah.
We watched mental health on the big stage, just watching the breakdown of Tiafimo afterwards and, hating himself and God's always punishing me. We understand when people like Teddy Atlas talk about this game being 70, 80, 90% mental and, 30, 20, 10% physical, we understand the value of peace of mind in a sport like this for a fighter who's developing and trying to challenge himself and be the best. It seems like for a moment here, fighters were just protecting their O's, right? Scared to put their O's on the line and in the same time stifling their growth, right? Because they couldn't get in the ring with the best fights because, they kept trying to strategically move around the competition and still get to the promised land and be a legacy fighter. This system provides these fighters to develop properly. Go for the win, of course. You want to be undefeated, but like Dana said, in my system, you undefeated up in here.
You a bad joke.
You a bad mother. He said you a bad dude. Trust it.
It's a system that's designed to say undefeated fighter is really that good, and a guy with 2 or 3 losses has been tested.
Right.
That's what the system is designed. I can't think of the guy's name that Boots fought his first fight with Matchroom in Philadelphia. I cannot think of his name. He was supposed to fight him,
David
and the guy had to withdraw from the fight, and they had to get. I think Avenesia was the replacement. That guy, I can't think of it.
Oh, I know you're talking about. What's his name? Oh my God,
I apologize to that man. But
yeah, the eye injury.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. He's from Canada. Oh,
Yeah.
why am I
Yeah.
forgetting this?
I can't remember his name.
Cody
Oh,
Crowley. Cody
Yeah.
Crowley.
Cody
Ziggy Dino.
Crowley.
Yeah.
How many people remember the mental stuff he went through? How
His
many
father.
people remember his dad committed suicide
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he felt he let his son down with this boxing shit?
Yeah.
oh.
Do you know how much stress that is on a man to know I gave my best, and when I gave my best on one particular night, it wasn't good enough, and my father felt that he let me down and he took his
Oh.
life? These
Oh.
promoters, this is stuff I want the promoter to think about when,
Right.
with the stroke of a pen, after you just lost, he drops you.
Right.
That's the one thing
No
that they're
cares.
taking away with that.
No
Right.
cares.
Zupa
No
saying
cares.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Zupa saying fight.
Guys, it's about
Fight.
that time for me. I'm not gonna lie. So we can wrap it up with our last statements. I gotta go to work. I'm not even shy to tell
Oh
you.
man!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man!
No,
No,
listen,
but
we
Mr.
cooking right
Hackett,
now, trust me.
Mr. Hackett, we want to thank you because the whole title of today's episode is good business, and you've really shared the good business that's happening in the entire sport of boxing right now, and you've been through it with the Mayweathers
And shedding
then
light
that
on the other
group,
business.
and shedding light on what that was like versus shedding light on Zuffa boxing and what Dana White and the TKO group is doing. So thank you, Mr. Hackett. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And listen, we're back on here on Thursday. We'll be back on here. I'm thinking you're coming on, right? With
Nah, I don't think I'm on. I think Jalil's on.
Yeah,
with
it's
you.
Jalil. Yeah, we're gonna do a Jalil Hackett one
Okay.
at 3 o'clock. He'll be our guest. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, it's all
But
good.
you know,
But,
but Mr. Hackett, we would definitely, if you're free, like when we do the panel discussion, we would love to have you back, because you really shed a lot of light on a lot of things that people need to
Man,
hear.
I'm available for you guys anytime. My thing is, God has blessed me and my family. Me and my wife, we're still actively working. Our family is doing very well. And if all I'm able to ever do is to give some enlightening information to another young fighter or another young family who doesn't have the ability we do financially outside of boxing, that we can shed it on them. Because for every wolf, there has to be somebody there to protect a young sheep. You know, that's my thing.
yep.
More dreams get dashed by promoters than dashed in the ring.
Yeah,
Nice to hear that.
fans just don't understand, and they can't wrap their minds around it. And sometimes we put a lot of pressure on the fighters as far as calling them ducks or whatever have you, and not understanding that there's a lot of pressure on here to be undefeated, to be looked at a certain way, and that energy can affect somebody's mental in such a crazy way. Like we just talked about Cody Crowley's father, and we just saw Teofimo Lopez dealing with the situation where this man's probably wondering what his tomorrow is going to look like now that he's not a champion, now that he's taking this loss. You know what I mean? His father, all these different moving pieces. So I think there's a lot of peace of mind in a system that's set up to where you're not worried about that as much. You're more focused on the development of Jalil, him getting better, him ultimately, when it's all said and done, being a champion, being the best, and being proven on the battlefield that's credible. You know what I'm saying? Because he's fought the fights. He's fought the fights that he was supposed to fight.
I just say one last thing before you go off.
Yes, sir.
Fighters always have to guess how many people saw him. They don't never know. They know the main event. Can I say shout out to Paramount Plus Deportes, the Spanish network? They posted a clip on their social media of Jalil's fight, and it showed me that there were people watching him somewhere other than in the United States. And when you're talking about fighters getting a fan base built everywhere, it can only be done where people can see you for free.
Nice.
Also, I never said it yet. Everybody in the building, man, I shouldn't have to tell you guys this. Hit the damn like button, do that, and subscribe to the channel, bro. You guys, man, getting all these jewels, man. Hit the damn like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Guys, it's about that time.
Yes.
I gotta get out of here. It's 5:10. I'm already gonna be late. I already know I am. But
No problem.
I promise guys, we'll reconvene, man. Thursday. You guys already know how we're carrying it. We got another special guest coming in. We're trying to make this a more regular thing. We're trying to engage. We're trying to be part of the new movement, part of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Redemption of boxing, American boxing, a lot more engagement. Salute to everybody in the building. Thank you, Coach Bernard Hackett in the building. Thank you to Robert Merriweather and his son, Robert Merriweather III. That was a great interview, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Any super chats that we got, shout out to you guys. But until the next one, it's that ATP. It's that Combat Media Show. And you already know at this point. Right, Red?
Yeah.
We out. Make sure y'all hit that hype button on the rewind.
I would make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net.